まったくね。こんなにも頼もしい味方に、どうして私は今まで打ち明けなかったのか。
一人ではできないことでも、みんなでならできるのです。
You know, a little off topic right over here, but whenever Rika switches her voice and attitude, like the way she talks, I wonder how she looks like when she does that. Is it, does she also have like this expressionless face, the way I know Bernkasta would be like whenever she talks like that? Even if only a miracle can make it happen. If you all try our hardest, it can be done easily. That's what a miracle is. My heart is pounding. What is this emotion? I feel like nothing is impossible if I work together with them. Hani told me that, in a different world. They defeated the worst scenario of all. The one where Teppei comes home. I don't remember, but something tells me deep inside that the exact same kind of miracle is about to happen in this world too.
Me.
I mean, can we maybe not go through that again though? I mean, if Teppei were to come back right over here, I'm gonna assume that Satoko is gonna be wiser about it, hopefully, because of like the past world experience, and we might be able to do that easier. But how about we just skip that and already have Satoko, like, you know, improved without having to go through that again. Like, time is of the essence. We cannot deal with Teppei in this situation.
それにみんな、もっともっとアイデアが欲しいのです。僕たちがどうやったらこの陰謀に勝てるのか、もっともっと僕に教えてほしいのです。
Alright, well, you know what this is, folks? This is us planting seeds. We're talking to Irie, we are possibly making future traps and, like, ease the kids into the conspiracy and all that, which is nice. And I assume next we're gonna be talking to Tomitake? Yeah. But Irie had come with him. Oh. Irie must be bothered by what I told him this morning. But he can't come to a conclusion on his own, so he wants Tomitake to listen to me too. After saying that he wouldn't interrupt us, Irie sat down a little distance away.
入江所長に聞いたよ。どうして君は高野さんを疑ってるんだい？だって、そんなことをしたら大変なことになるのを一番よく知っているのが高野さんじゃないか。
True?
それに、高野さんは君や聡子ちゃんにあれだけ親切にしてくれたんじゃないのかい？なのに、命を狙ってるように感じるなって、ちょっと高野さんに悪いようには思わないかな。
I expected this from Tomitake. If I was in the same mood as I was this morning, I probably wouldn't have continued. But having expected this, I'm able to continue without getting upset.
富武、正直に答えてください。そして、真剣に考えてください。正常な高野なら、僕を殺すようなことは絶対にないと思いますですが、今の高野は、
それはどういう意味だい？
高野は
No.
Hinamizawa 症候群の研究に生涯をかけてる。
Jesus. It's like an on and off switch, just this quickly, like suddenly.
それは事実。
うん。ここだけの話、Hinamizawa症候群の研究は彼女が中心なんだよ。入江所長は表向きのトップで、研究の一番の中心は高野さんなんだ。これは内緒だけど、実はHinamizawa症候群は彼女のおじいさんが見つけたものなんだよ。
You broke the promise!
高野さんはそのおじいさんを特に尊敬していてね。その研究を自分が受け継いで完成させると意気込んで入江機関を設立したんだよ。
Tomitake, my boy, you broke the promise with Takano to not talk about the grandfather. Now granted, I am on Rika's side. The more we know, the better. So, the fact that you told us this like this quickly, it works in my favor. But Jesus. Like, no hesitation whatsoever.
そんな高野にとって研究の方針が変わり、3年で研究を終了と宣言された現在の状況はどんな気持ちなの？高野は単身上京して研究の続行を訴えたけど却下されたんでしょ。それは高野にとって自分の人生を否定されたことと同じ。とても傷ついたんじゃないの？
I mean, Rika truly is, like, on point with that.
リカちゃん、君はどこでそれを？
Tomitake went silent for a moment. He must have realized that I'm not just saying random things.
確かに高野さんが新理事会に説明しに行ってかなり悪い評価をされたという話は聞いてるよ。伝え聞く話だと相当研究をバカにされたらしい。予算食いの無駄な研究だみたいに言われてね。彼女は気丈を装ってるけどかなり傷ついたと思う。
でしょ。そんな高野がどうせ打ち切られる研究なんだからと自暴自棄にならないなんて絶対に言えるの？
いや、高野さんに限ってありえないよ。ありえない。
And that's the same thing that Irie said. He kept saying it was impossible, yet he couldn't deny it completely. He repeated the same phrase over and over to refute that possibility. In fact, even though we know Takano is the enemy, we can only guess at her motive. The only way to find out is to tie her down and make her confess. True. I mean, really, Tomitake is the closest to Takano, so if we are to learn some stuff, it will be from Tomitake. Other than that, we can only find our answers inside the Takano's head. And I guess Nomura, but that's a lot more difficult, like 100 times more difficult. But there is meaning in making Tomitake become suspicious of Takano. It's really important to do that, so that we become my ally. Of course, this is also a strategy devised by our club leader.
確かに少々恐ろしい想像ではあるけれど、それでも高野さんがそんなことをして得をすることはないよ。自暴自棄になりたい彼女の気持ちには少し理解できるけど、それでも彼女にだって理性というものがある。彼女もその辛い気持ちを時間で癒せるさ。
昇進の人はたぶらかされやすいということはありませんですか？
たぶらかされるとはどういう意味だい？
富武、僕が死んだら大変なことになりますね。緊急マニュアルが執行され、村が丸ごと抹殺される。
そうなのかい？僕は知らなかったな。
Sure. Tomitake isn't good at covering his lies. It shows that he's bad at hiding things, since he is innately honest, which makes him a nice person.
入江に聞いていますから知ってますです。時間がもったいないのでごまかしっこはなしにしましょうです。その緊急マニュアルはあくまでも最後の手段ですから、それを実行すれば大変なことになりますですね。
Tomitake seemed to be wondering if he should confirm the existence of the emergency manual. But the fact that Irie had already told me about it, combined with me being the Queen Carrier, prompted him to confirm it. Albeit hesitantly.
ああ、大変なことになるよ。村を一つ消し去るなんて簡単なことじゃない。危険な橋をいくつも渡らなければならないし、仕方がないとはいえ、人道的に許されることじゃない。
Tell me about it.
本当に大変なことになるよ。
単刀直入に言います。その緊急マニュアルで得をする人間がいるはずなのです。
まさかいるはずがないよ。それどころか責任問題やら何やらに発展し、場合によっては東京だけでなく 政府内の問題にも発展しかねない。
となれば、その騒ぎで得をする人がいるのではありませんか。緊急マニュアルが執行されるようなことになれば、執行はやむなく行うが、その後、そうしなければならない状況に陥らせた人間たちへの責任追及が始まる。具体的に言うと、入江機関を統括している上の連中ね。その黒幕たちが責任を追及され、東京で失脚するということは、
どうだろ
ポストは有限。狙う人間は常にいる。それを奪うために、緊急マニュアルという危険な爆弾の導火線に火をつけてみようという人たちがいてもおかしくないんじゃないかしら。自分は安全な場所に隠れていて、全て吹き飛ばした後、空いたポストにちゃっかり座る。
Oh, this is what Mion suggested. She didn't know a thing about Tokyo, yet she struck its core so hard even Tomitake was shaken. Mion is the greatest commander and strategist our club could ever have. Tomitake folded his arms. He's starting to lose his cool. I think he realizes that what I'm saying isn't mere nonsense.
確かに最近、東京である大物が死去してね。それに伴い、後釜をめぐって派閥抗争がとても激しくなっているんだ。入江機関のクライアントであるアルファベットの理事会も粛清と呼ばれるほどの人事の大刷新があってね。それで旧派閥の庇護を受けていた入江機関はやり玉に挙げられて研究の即時中止が決められたみたいな話はあるんだよ。
そんな中、もし私が死に緊急マニュアルが執行されなくてはならなくなったら、入江機関とその黒幕の理事会、そしてそれを要する派閥は必ず責任を追及される。本来ならHinamizawa症候群などという危険な爆弾の存在は東京以外は誰も知らないから安全だけど、東京の中に敵ができた場合に限り、その敵にとってHinamizawaはあまりに簡単に爆発できる爆弾となる。
それはリカちゃんの創作かい？
創作ですか？事実ですか？
どうだろう。でも今の東京のゴタゴタを見ていると、なるほど、そんな恐ろしい絵を描いている連中がいたとしても、いや、ありえるかもしれない。
富武はいい人です。親しい友人のことを信じる、とてもいい人だと思います。だからそんな富武にこう言えば受け入れてもらえないことは分かってる。でも入江機関への監査役である富武2位に僕は訴えねばなりません。
まさかそれで高野さんだというのかい？
はい。研究の継続を却下された高野は自分の人生を否定され、さらには理事会からこき下ろされてとても傷ついています。それはいつもそばにいる富武なら分かっているはずです。その昇進の高野に彼女を利用したい何者かが接触し、そそのかすというようなことはありませんですか？傷ついた人は自分を理解してくれる人に心を許してしまいやすい。
The thing about that is, I don't even think that Tomitake would be able to know who that is specifically. Well, unless we're talking about the remnants of Koizumi's faction, maybe. Like, having some revenge, but...
高野に東京での混乱を目論む何者かが接触して取り入り、何かを焚きつけたかもしれないのです。
Tomitake insisted that Takana-san would never do that. He repeated it a few more times, but then he fell silent again. Tomitake is an adult. He must have experienced some heartbreaking events himself. And that's why he can understand that Takano is very hurt. And that it's possible that someone is using her.
リカちゃんの言い分は分かったよ。僕も高野さんを本当の意味で信じるために、そういう疑いがないことを先に晴らしておく必要があるね。
富武。
すぐに山犬のおこのぎくんと東京に連絡して、高野さんの近辺に不審な動きがないか確認させるよ。
That's a bad idea.
山犬は傍聴が専門だから。
ダメです。山犬も高野の手先です。
なんだって？
高野を懐柔するような相手です。もちろん山犬にだって手を打っています。
それはありえない話じゃない。山犬は傍聴部隊。
In fact, thinking about it, it could very well be possible that the evil mastermind woman has been using the mod dogs on Takano for a long period of time. I mean, hell, ever since that talk with Okonogi and, using sacrifices for the first time, pushing Takano into that idea and using that for like the years, to use the victims for dissections and such, and kidnapping and, well, no, I think it was the talk with killing like Rika's parents. I think it was.
仮に入江機関に内通者がいても、彼らが任務についている限りとても困難なはず。なら山犬ごとということもあり得るのか。しかし
富武、高野と山犬に内緒で調べてください。入江は僕の味方ですが、東京については詳しくありません。
はい。私は一研究者に過ぎません。所長という肩書きも彼らの都合でもらったお飾りに過ぎないことを認めます。ですから私ではリカさんの疑念を晴らしてあげることができません。
わかりました。万が一入江機関が謀反を起こす可能性だって予見されてないわけじゃない。そのために僕が送られてきているんだからね。高野さんと山犬の近辺について至急調査させるよ。
僕の話を信じてくれて、僕の話を信じてくれたのは、これが初めてなのです。
Yeah, I've been left away in many roads. But Tomitake finally listened to me. You'll be a very strong ally in the fight against Takano. Yeah, this actually went surprisingly well too. Also, I'm grateful for my friends who prepared me to talk with him. I got the information on the current situation from Irie, had my friends analyze it, and because of that, managed to get Tomitake to listen. And just as Anu said, I couldn't have done anything if I kept thinking about it all alone. But after talking to my friends, things are already changing.
実は今日からしばらくの間、身を隠そうと思いますです。ミーの家には秘密の地下があり、好都合なのです。
I haven't talked to Mion about it yet, but I think she'll understand my request now.
なので、何かあったらミーに連絡してください。僕は今日から当分の間、行方不明ということにしてくださいです。
了解したよ。僕もそれが安全だと思う。僕は普段通り振る舞うよ。不審がられないためにね。もちろん用心はする。入江所長も普段通りにしてください。ですが常に用心を。
わかりました。せいぜい用心します。
富武、気をつけて。あなたは近日中に暗殺される気がしますです。
This is the part that he has never taken seriously. Please hear what I'm saying.
わかった。特に用心するよ。ありがとう。
Damn. Then Tomitake turned around all of a sudden. Irie and I sensed something odd from his behavior and grew tense. Then, we heard some footsteps. We'd been so careless. Did somebody overhear us? Did Takano and her people hear what we were saying? I'll never forget the laugh as long as I live.
こんにちは。これは珍しい面々ですね。入江先生に富武さんに理香さん。私もHinamizawaに出入りして長いですが、なんとも珍しい取り合わせです。
これはこんにちは、大石さん。あれ、今日は綿流し準備会の打ち合わせでしたか？にしてはまだだいぶ早い時間ですね。
Irie tried to change the subject, but obviously Oishi had heard everything. Tomitake from Tokyo is okay, but it's too early for Oishi from the police department to get involved. Things are already complicated. Why does he have to show up now? Anyway, this isn't good.
いえね、ご自宅にお伺いしましたら、北条さんにこちらにおられるとお聞きしたもので、そしたら皆さんの密会にばったりと出くわしてしまったというわけだったのです。いやー、お邪魔をしてしまったようで申し訳ございませんですね。
The air froze, leaving only silence. The way Oishi's speaking makes it obvious that he's trying to sniff things out. I bet he only heard a part of our conversation, so he can't grasp exactly what we were talking about. And that's why he's trying to make us confess the whole thing.
皆さん、そんなおっかない目で見ないでください。照れちゃいます。いえね、今日来た理由は他でもありません。リカさんに懐かしいお友達を連れてきたのですよ。リカさん覚えててくれるかな？
Ooh, nice.
忘れちゃってたら、彼はるばる来てくれたのに泣いちゃうかもしれません。
What? Who? I can only think of one person. But did he ever come here in June 1983? But who else would come visit me?
ささ、どうぞどうぞ。
Oishi encourages a virile young man to enter. He looked a lot more mature than the last time I saw him.
赤坂。
覚えていてくれてありがとう、リカちゃん。今度は東京へ帰れなんて言わないだろ。
赤坂。
君のメッセージちゃんと覚えていたよ。あるいは一度忘れてしまったのかもしれない。でもそれを忘れたらきっとものすごく後悔するに違いないんだ。だからちゃんと思い出したよ。君が教えてくれたから幸恵に電話して彼女が事故に遭わなかった。だから君は幸恵の恩人なんだ。その恩を私は今返しに来たんだ。本当に長いこと忘れていた気がする。でもようやく思い出したよ。長いこと待たせてすまなかったね。
本当に長いこと待たせやがったです。そしてこんな最後の最後の世界で本当に都合よく帰ってきやがったのです。赤坂。
私は無条件で君の味方だ。君のどんな不思議な話も信じるよ。そして 君の命を狙うという敵を必ず打ち砕いてみせる。
Akasaka remembered some strange things as he talked to me. He remembered the sad world where he lost his wife working on the kidnapping case in Hinamizawa. He forgot about me because of the despair, and only remembered her afterwards. He regretted not being able to do anything for me. That memory from a different world brought Akasaka here. Akasaka calls himself my ally. That means a lot to me, since I never thought I'd have any allies at all. I could only bury my face in Akasaka's chest and cry. Oh.
いや、私は見てませんよ。東京に奥さんがいるのに、平見沢にこんな幼妻の現地妻がいたなんて知りません。
Hey.
知りませんよ。
大井さん、違うんです。そういうのじゃないんです。
赤坂、赤坂、赤坂、赤坂。
I complained that I couldn't defeat Takano alone. Hanyu admonished me. She told me that if we put our strength together and all believed in the same thing, we could make a miracle happen. I didn't believe her. But after I talked to Irie, my friends, and Tomitake, things were getting better and better. Now Akasaka is here too. Is Akasaka supposed to be coming back? Or is this a miracle? Miracles do occur. And this man never helped me even once before. Yet, he might be my most dependable ally. Now he's back, and he's even telling me he is my ally no matter what.
ね、起こるのです。奇跡は。
起こるね。起こせるね。まだまだ、まだまだ力を合わせたなら。そしたら、昭和58年の呪いを打ち破れるくらいの奇跡を起こせるのかな。
起こせますです。だって昭和58年6月はみんなが手を取り合わないと破れないのですから。
Hanyu, who used to be just a bystander, is now persuading me. She's admonishing me for pretending to fight while I, too, was actually just a sulky bystander.
大丈夫かい、リカちゃん。
ごめんなのです。ちょっと懐かしかったので取り乱してしまいましたです。
I wiped my tears and tried to hide my embarrassment. The Higurashi continued to cry. The Higurashi had been trying to remind me of something very important. I felt like they had taught me something important, and my eyes grew teary again.
これは驚いた。リカちゃんに素敵な彼氏がいたものだね。
Hey, stop it.
自己紹介します。私は赤坂守。警視庁公安部の資料室第7室に勤めています。
東京の公安部資料室は確か内調別室並みの極秘部門ではありませんでしたか。秘密警察の批判もあるような極秘の強行捜査部隊だったはずです。
No department would be foolish enough to slap secret onto the name of the secret division. Real secret divisions have boring names meant to fool the average person. And that's true for Akasaka's department too. I mean, we're literally having like a organization that's called Tokyo. It's called a reference room. But they don't manage documents.
お詳しいですね。公安部資料室の正体を知っている方がいらっしゃるとは思いませんでした。先ほどのお話から察するに、どうやら訳ありの方とお見受けします。
いや、ちょっとマニアでしてね。たまたま知っていただけなんですがね。
富武さん、この際だから本当の自己紹介をしちゃいません？私もあなたがただの旅行写真家じゃないだろうってずっと思ってきましたから。
いえ、そんなことはないですよ。僕は写真が趣味なだけのただの。
What a waste of time this conversation is. And this is the final world after all.
富武は僕たちと東京の間をつなぐ連絡のお仕事なのです。でも僕の味方なのです。
リカさん。
Tomitake and Irie yell simultaneously. To them, it's an extremely important secret, and if someone were to find out, they'd get eliminated by the mouth dogs. But it's okay now. There's no point of continuing to have suspicions and doubts. I've had enough of that. It's already obvious Tomitake isn't telling the truth, but he's still trying to deny what I just said.
入江所長さんでしたね。5年ほど前、私が誘拐犯たちとの乱闘で怪我をした時、お世話になりました。あの時は丁寧な治療を本当にありがとうございました。
あの時の。いえいえ、自分の仕事をしたまでですよ。
そして入江診療所には入江機関という別名もある。そうですね。
いえ、どうでしょう。
入江先生、もう隠し子はなしにしましょう。私たちさっきしっかりと聞いちゃってるんですから。
先ほど入江機関のクライアントのアルファベットとおっしゃいましたね。実は皆さんがお話になられなくてもその一部始終を存じております。つい最近まで私の第7室は巨額の裏金ルートとそれを牛耳る黒幕たちを内定していました。
Well, this is awkward. Talking about the illegal funds.
アルファベットプロジェクトとはその裏金ルートのうちの一つです。
Akasaka is holding the top secret document he got his hands on a few days ago. This document records how certain people were given public funds from ministries and government offices for assisting with various projects. These masterminds claimed that they were attempting to revitalize Japan by using secret money and secret methods. But that was a lie even amongst themselves. The masterminds of these projects were making an enormous profit off of them. If that became public knowledge, Japan would be shaken to the core, and the government would be overthrown. That was what they were told, and that was the reason why the investigation was discontinued.
最初にお断りしておきますが、第7室のこの調査はすでに中断され、私たちはその任を解かれています。ですので、私は業務上知り得たことを勝手に口外しているに過ぎません。もちろん、私はhinamizawaへは休暇として訪れています。そこだけ誤解がないようにお願いいたします。
Tomitake is still trying to hide his identity, but Irie isn't. He must have made up his mind, since Akasaka already knows about the Alphabet Project.
その裏金ルートから毎年巨額の資金が入江機関という鹿骨市内にある研究機関に流れ込んでいることがすでに分かっています。そして入江機関という機関名には括弧書きで入江診療所との補記がされています。そして入江機関トップは自衛隊から出向している二等陸佐入江京介氏とも。
兄さん？入江先生、あんた自衛隊の人だったんですか？
違います。私は自衛隊なんかではありません。富武さん、もうお話ししましょう。それに私たちのクライアントはともかく、 私たち自身は別にやましいことをしているつもりはないんです。これ以上しらばっくれるのは、かえって大石さんたちを疑わせるだけだと思います。
入江の言う通りなのです。大石はきっと僕たちの味方になってくれますです。
I'm starting to feel like even Oishi could be our ally. That would be incredible. I mean, as long as Akasaka is here, I don't think that we're gonna have like any problem with Oishi. Tomitake finally gave in and admitted it. In his place, I explained to them the existence of Hinamizawa syndrome, the idiot clinic that was established to research it. What's special about myself, and finally about the invisible conspiracy that revolves around it all. Oishi was very surprised to hear about all this, but Akasaka told him to calm down, so he listened quietly. Since Akasaka belongs to a special unit, he wasn't too surprised. He kept nodding, saying that it's all very possible. And this is working out great for me.
確かにリカちゃんの言う通り、恐ろしい陰謀を企む連中がいてもおかしくない。大石さん、これらの話は全てあり得る話です。
はあ、私は何かの小説の筋書きみたいな気分ですが、いや、それが真実ならば、
I mean, you gotta admit, it sounds a lot more spicier than putting the blame on the Sonozakis at this point. Compared to Akasaka, who has a flexible mind, Oishi is having a hard time understanding such unrealistic stories. Probably need at least 3 cigarettes before he can digest what he just heard. I mean, I'm honestly a little bit surprised given that, like, some of the knowledge that Erika has in convincing, like, these people comes from her having, like, to go through these fragments. Like, there's the example of how, like, at the end, Erika told Tomitake, by the way, you might end up being killed, so please be careful. And Tomitake was like, I'll be okay. I was like, I guess nobody is really questioning how Erika is reaching these conclusions. And to be honest, I don't think we need to. Like, time is of the essence. Let's just go through this.
僕は高野が怪しいと思っています。ですが、その証拠はありません。それを確かめるために、富武に調査をお願いしていたところなのです。
大石さん、その高野という女を別件逮捕で勾留することは？
退職金が吹っ飛びそうですが、やってやれないことはないですな。
沖宮署にも山犬の傍聴要員が入り込んでいるはずです。多分大石さんがそれを実行しようとしても署内で圧力がかかるはずです。
高野さんの調査はこちらでするので、それまでは変に警戒されるようなことは慎んでいただきたいのが本音です。
そうですね。高野氏の調査は富武さんの機関の人間にしかできないなら、警察が余計なことをしない方がいいかもしれません。それにどうも関わる山が大きすぎる気がします。
I mean, sure, mountain dogs are everywhere. If we are to investigate this, it is by ourselves. I don't think that Tomitake is able to get like any help from his organization, and Oishi is definitely not going to be able to get like any help from the police. So it's really just like you guys.
大石さん、
using your spare time to work on this instead of using the work hours.
冷たい言い方をしますが、あなたはここで引かれた方がいいかもしれません。
赤坂さん、それはどういう意味ですか？
先ほども言われました通り、大石さんは今年で定年じゃないですか。長かった危険なお仕事がようやく終わり、そのねぎらいとして退職金を得られる直前にいる。
Oh. He doesn't want anything bad to happen to Oishi.
お金は大事です。家のローンの完済や老後の蓄え、そして第二の人生の支度金ですが、今回の山は危険すぎる。私の勘から言って、この山は多分最後にはなかったことにされる。つまり
全てを失う覚悟がなきゃ今からでも遅くないから引き返せって。
I mean, you gotta think about it this way. Iri and Tomitake, they are very much connected to, like, to what is going on in Takano and all that. Akasaka, he's very much tied to this because of Urika's wish for him to help her, and he has to do this. Oishi, on the other hand, he is just a police guy that wants to have revenge for the death of his friend, the manager, from the damn conflict. I mean, he was already involving himself like quite a lot with the Sonozaki plot, which they are not involved, but they are pretty big, and it can be dangerous for someone like Oishi to get involved, like, and be an obstacle for the Sonozakis and all that. Like, that was already like a very dangerous thing for Oishi, but this?
そうおっしゃるんでしょう。
そうです。大石さんほどの方にこんなことを言うのは若輩の身には過ぎたことと分かっています。ですが私は今日まで一般警察とは次元の違う山にいくつも関わってきました。
Yeah, this is beyond like police work.
だからその経験の上で大石さんにご忠告させていただいているんです。
Oishi was no fool. He was also an adult, and smart in a real sense. If he only listened to his pride, he would yell at Akasaka for insulting him. But what Akasaka is saying is true. Oishi's pension is a big deal for him. People live far beyond their retirement. They still have 10 or even 20 years left after that. Their pension is the basis for that second life. A pension isn't ordinary money. It's very, very valuable. People receive their pension for working hard on rainy days and windy days, and even enduring the moments when their bosses give them a hard time. Even Oishi has mumbled, on occasion, that he is going to quit and look for a new job. Yet he endured, and quietly did the unreasonable work asked for him. He's endured far more work than his salary merited. He's worked like that for a very long time, and now he's finally about to retire. He's finally about to collect his long-awaited pension. It's not about the amount of money itself. It's about having a value placed on what you've done with your life. Damn. So if one were to cause a scandal, the punishment for that would be placed on his pension. I mean, yeah, like, when you think of it like that, the way that it's been described out of here, you gotta imagine that Oishi has been risking his future life to investigate the Sonozakis and the death of the manager and have his revenge. Like, this is like mistakes like that, and that could ruin his life with no retirement money and all that. One such deplorable event can erase Oishi's entire life as a policeman. That's not something that can be treated lightly. Akasaka is still young. Even if he loses his job, he will be able to find a new one. But Oishi, he is too old. The repayment of his mortgage was planned around his pension. Oishi is a grown-up's grown-up, and that's why he can't do anything reckless. Akasaka knows that, and that's why he said that Oishi should back down. Oishi understands it too, so Akasaka had to ask him that tough question, in order to find out how strong Oishi's commitment was.
私がお小遣いを残したいばかりに、随分のんびりしたローン返済をしちゃいましたね。もっと繰り上げ償還とかしてりゃ、利子の分得をできただろうに。博打やらお酒やら、そんなものに使うお金が残したくてね。もし私が月を退職金に回すような人生を選ばず、もっともっと賢く生きてきたなら、ここで私はかっこよく、懲戒なんか怖くないって意気込むところなんでしょう。
Oishi's fists were trembling. And that's how he sheds his tears.
でもね、それでもね、私は刑事なんですよ。いや、そんなのはもうどうでもいいのかもしれない。私は墓前で誓ったんですよ。おやっさんを殺した犯人を必ず挙げてやるって。それつまり、おやっさんを殺した犯人を挙げるまで、私はいつまでも刑事でいるって誓いなんです。それはつまり、私が警官かどうかってことじゃない。私が敵を取るその日まで、たとえ懲戒を食らったって、刑事魂を忘れないってことなんです。その私が、懲戒免職が怖いって、退職金が不意になるかもしれないのが怖いって、ああ、怖いですよ。何千万って金が入ることを当てにした人生設計が全部パーになるんですよ。北海道でのんびり家庭菜園を楽しんで、すすきので遊んで社交ダンスを始めて、それがパーになるの何が怖いってんですかね。私の刑事魂はそんなもんだったんですかね。hinamizawa村連続開始事件の真相を暴く、夢にまで願った真相の扉が今ここにあるってのに、くそー、ちくしょー。警察手帳を叩きつけりゃいい。警察なんていつでもやめてやるってなんで言えないんだ。くそくそー、ちくしょー。
Nobody could say anything in response to Oishi. He is at a crossroads. The crossroads of a person who has worked so hard and so humbly for so long. How could the young people who know nothing about what he's had to go through say anything like that? Yeah, true. I don't think that anybody could even imagine what goes through his mind. Like, nobody here has experienced that. Not even Erika, for like 100 years. She's still young. Damn, this is actually getting me a little bit teary-eyed here. Whew.
大石さんは確か殺された現場監督さんのご友人でいらっしゃいましたね。
ねえ。
I mean, a part of me was thinking that despite like what I said before about how tough it must be because of thinking about the future and the retirement money and all that, I was thinking that Oishi of course would go and do this, even so. But no, I was wrong. Of course he's afraid of like the choice right away here. Like you're gambling between one thing and the other. And if this fails and you make like a big mistake in the police's eyes, that's it. Like not only would you fail in having revenge on your friend, but you also lose your future. Like it's either all or nothing. All or nothing. Or, you know, well, maybe not all or nothing. He can choose to stay back and, you know, have a safe future and not be involved in this, but of course he's gonna regret for the rest of his life that he didn't help in avenging his friend.
友人であり、兄貴であり、 親父でした。
私は形式だけとはいえ入江機関の長です。多分リカさんをめぐる陰謀が暴かれれば必ず私にも飛び火し、何らかの形で責任を取らされる日が来るでしょう。そうですよね、富武さん。
His position exists for exactly that purpose. To the Institute as a whole, it is there simply to cover for Takano's research. Tomitake, of course, knows about that. And even Irie has started to realize it. Even if Irie hadn't done anything wrong, he would have to take the blame, as the person in charge of the Institute. Okay, well, I'm gonna be honest right over here. I cannot say that I would be able to understand like 100% the implications of, like, we are gonna succeed. We have to. Like, Rika is gonna succeed in stopping this. But how is this gonna end up for the people involved, like Takano and Irie and Tomitake? I don't know. It's a bit complicated for me to think about the implications of such thing, of the Institute being exposed and all that. Like, you would think that Takano is gonna take responsibility for this once we stop her. Like, she's gonna be accountable for this. That would be the thing. But what about Irie and Tomitake? How are they gonna be okay? Like, that was how, because Tomitake and Irie, they are both like good people too here in this. That was how every organization perched itself, by forcing someone to take the blame and reshuffling members. That's why leaders get more money.
すべてが終わったら、大石さんにHinamizawa村連続開始事件のすべてをお話しします。本当は終身の秘匿義務があるのですが、お目こぼしをくださいますよね、富武さん。
I mean, you gotta think about it this way, folks, because if we're gonna end up stopping Takano and, you know, it is basically confirmed in Irie and Tomitake's eyes that something suspicious has definitely been going on and the destruction is about to happen and they have to stop this. And if they are successful, they are gonna blame themselves for this. They are gonna take responsibility for what happened behind their backs. They're gonna feel regret for not noticing what has been going on with Takano. So yeah, in Irie's eyes, if this were to happen, then he's gonna consider this like a big punishment. Like, he's gonna consider this like a big punishment for the things that he has done. Because he has committed some sins too. He has dissected people and such, so... Oh, of course, like, Irie's first instinct would be to take responsibility for this and take all the blame if he could.
私は何も聞いていませんので。
As an honest man, Tomitake can't say yes. So pretending to ignore it was the best he could do.
いやいや、そういうわけにはいきません。そいつは皆さんに協力した勇気ある大石クラウドに教えてやってください。退職金が欲しくて保身に走るみっともない大石クラウドには過ぎたもんです。
He faced a dilemma. Even though the truth behind the mysterious deaths he sought so hard was right in front of him, he couldn't just accept it with his head held high. To understand what he's going through, one would have to live the life he did. His dilemma is very vast and very heavy. Young people couldn't possibly understand that. Yeah, it is as I said, yeah.
私に考える時間をもらうことはできませんかね。
Yeah, sure thing.
真相を暴き、悪を打ちたい気持ちはあるんです。そのために 勇気を持つ時間を少しだけもらうことはできませんか？
I mean, you gotta think about it this way, folks. Like, this is definitely not the first time that Oishi has been hit with this dilemma. Now, of course, he is being hit with this dilemma right now because of, like such a grand problem, like, behind the scenes that they're gonna have to face. But even with the Sonozakis in the past, he has been, like, walking on, hot coal, trying to expose the Sonozakis, even if they are not the ones responsible. Like, he has been touching fire, like, quite a lot, and he probably thought about this sort of stuff at night before he slept. Why is he even asking? Nobody here will force him to make up his mind. Of course, I won't either. However, Oishi needs someone's approval. Oishi is still passionate about his work as a police officer, yet he isn't brave enough to take on this case. He wants somebody to forgive him for that. But nobody can do that. And nobody can stop Oishi from crying.
はい。その時間を僕は許します。
Hanyu? How long has she been here? Hanyu has arrived. I didn't see her come in. But then again, she's always around. Hanyu is the guardian deity of Hinamizawa after all.
あなたが決心するのに必要な時間を僕は許します。あなたは今日まで自分に素直であり、そして厳しくもありながら今日までの人生を積み重ねてきました。そんな決して軽くない人生だからこそ、決断を求められる時にもその選択肢は重みを得るのです。軽々しい選択や蛮勇は決して誇らしいものではない。真に誇るべきなのは、あなたのような真に重い人生を歩んできた者が本当に重い選択をした時なのです。
She might sound arrogant to us, but that was exactly what Oishi needed to hear. Right. Who among us has the right to admonish Oishi, the eldest one here? No one. No one should be able to. Nobody but one. The one who has been protecting humans for over 1,000 years. Hanyu.
あなたが冷静で落ち着きある選択をしようとも、勇敢で男らしい選択をしようとも、私はあなたを称えましょう。それがあなたの悩み抜いた選択である限り。
初めて会うお嬢さん、ありがとう。なぜか一番嬉しかった言葉です。臆病な私に時間を許してくれてありがとう。
You're definitely no coward in my eyes. If it was me, I would have asked Oishi to be my ally and asked him for help. But that wouldn't have reached his heart. Wanting help is my selfish request. I don't know anything about the life he lived, and that's why my words wouldn't reach him. But Hanyu's words did. Hanyu has never told me this, but I can tell she's been watching Oishi since the day he was born. She's been watching all that he went through, and that's why she can say that. And why what she said could reach him. Only Hanyu can do that.
入江先生、たった一つだけでいいんです。教えてください。
ええ、何でも聞いてください。
私はおやっさんをバラバラにして殺した連中を裏で糸を引いていたのは園崎家だと信じて追ってきました。それは正解ですかね？
いいえ、不正解です。hinamizawa村連続開始事件はすべて私たち側から説明できることです。
そうですか。
Why is she pretending to scratch his head? For so long he pursued the case with that belief. Yet someone deeply involved was telling him he'd missed the mark. So he must be feeling at least some frustration. True. I mean, not only what we were talking about before about him being at crossroads right over here, but now Oishi is gonna realize that he has been chasing the wrong victim, like the wrong culprits. Sanzaki has nothing to do with this, so he is gonna feel a little bit of frustration that he wasn't even doing the job right in having revenge for his friend. What he has said wouldn't be enough, so I have to continue.
大石、お社様のたたりと呼ばれる事件は、どれも村人の暗躍によるものではありません。園崎家も御三家も、そして村人も、一切が関係ないのです。
There are only misunderstandings, misinterpretations, coincidences, tragedies, and comedies. True. True words had never been spoken. It's like a combination of many things, you know, when I think about it. I mean, Jesus. The real identity of the curse of Ayashiro-sama is simply a series of misinterpretations. You know, it looks like the villagers are acting in secret.
それじゃあ、私が今日まで集めてきた園崎家が裏でどうこうっていうのは全部ガセだったってそういうことですかね。
I mean, it kind of depends. What kind of information?
園崎家当主にはいかなる天才もすべて自らの差し金であるように振る舞うべしという秘密の家訓がありますです。園崎家は何も知らない。いや、それどころか毎年起こる事件に怯えてすらいる。でもそれを家の威厳に組み込むため黒幕を装っているだけなのです。
そんな家訓があるんですか。なるほど、納得です。
それが本当ならお寮のばあさんめくそ思わせぶりなことばかり言いやがるな。それ本当なんですよね。
本当なのですよ。古出家当主の秘密巻物にも書いてありますです。見ますですか？
I have no idea what Oishi thinks is so funny. Nobody here can tell what's going through Oishi's mind. Except the girl who has watched over human beings for over 1,000 years.
大石が嬉しい気持ち、僕にはわかりますです。
おや、何がわかるって言うんですか？
誰かを憎まなくていいというのは、とてもとても幸せで気持ちいいことだってわかりますから。
まさかまさか園崎家が獅子骨市内を牛耳るたちの悪い暴力団組織であることに変わりはありません。
I mean, true. Like, you gotta think of it this way. It doesn't have like anything to do with the instance like each year, especially like the manager's death, but they still have like the Yakuzas. They still do some stuff like behind the scenes and all that, like in other areas, so but in this case, no.
連中のとこのチンピラに刺されたこともありますからね。別に開始事件の黒幕でないと分かったからといって私にとって敵対的な存在であることが変わるわけではありません。まあそれだけのことなんですがなぜか愉快になっちゃいましたね。
of us can tell if what Hanyu is saying is right. Oishi believed that Sonozaki family was behind it all. Now that he has learned that they are not, I'm sure he feels like everything he stands for has been made meaningless. But if Hanyu says that's not the case, to hate someone must be such a painful thing. I can't explain Oishi's laughter. All I can do is speculate. Oishi left with a cigarette in his mouth, saying that he wanted to cool off a little.
高野さんが白か黒か、それがわからないことには話が進みませんね。富武さんの方の結果を待ってからしか動くことはできないでしょう。
リカちゃんがなぜ高野さんをそこまで疑うのか、個人的には高野さんに悪い気がするけれども、でもリカちゃんの言うことにも一理はあった。リカちゃんは大切な身なんだ。その周りには疑わしいものはわずかほども存在してはならないからね。
Tomitake is making it sound like he's going to prove Takano's innocence. I guess I can't blame him, since he's in love with her. To be honest, I'm also hoping that Takano isn't guilty. Takano understands me, and she was one of my allies. I had a friendship with her. I've trusted her for over 100 years. But Hanyu says that Takano is guilty. If something pops out when we poke her, then the question is, how well Tomitake can catch it. To get people to help me, I have to find proof of Takano's guilt. So I just have to trust Tomitake for now.
富武さん、くれぐれも身辺にはご注意を。もし相手が黒ならば、あなたの身に最初に危険が。
分かってます。すぐに宿を入江機関に内緒で変更します。本当はすぐにHinamizawaを離れた方がいいのでしょうが、もし高野さんが黒ならば、それはかえって逆効果です。
難しいところですね。内定中は普段通りに装うのが初歩ですから。もしよろしかったら、私の宿に入りますか？
いえ、それには及びません。大丈夫。十分に注意します。
ということは、どうしたものか。
どうしよう。羽生、どうしたらいいと思う？
将棋に例えたら、リカはむき出しの王将です。リカさえ抑えれば、このゲームは高野の勝ちになりますです。
将棋の定石は、まず王将の守りを固めてから。よね。
はい。今日は木曜日。綿流しはしあさって。最低でも綿流しの日まで誰にも知られず、そして一番安全なところに避難するべきかもしれないです。
そんなうまい場所あるかしら？
僕はそこはミオンに頼るべきだと思いますです。
そうね。園崎本家の地下西宮殿は立てこもるにはとても理想的。
I guess so.
そこへは里子も連れて行くべきだと思いますです。
里子を残して私だけが消えれば、その行方は里子が知っているに違いないということになる。残せば里子にも危険が及んでしまうわね。
That means I'll have to tell the truth to at least Satoko and Mion. That the comic plot we discussed wasn't just fiction. Yeah, they gotta know at some point. Still, I always seem to underestimate their reliability. It really is beyond my imagination. I need to talk to them. I have a feeling they'll believe me. They are my steadfast allies after all.
僕たちはしばらくの間、身を隠そうと思いますです。ミーの家なら、身を隠すことができる場所がありますのです。
そこは、とても安全？
はい。秘密の防空壕みたいなとこなのです。中には何でもあって、 1ヶ月くらいこもることもできるに違いないです。
The Sasaki family's underground storehouse has every basic necessity, in case someone actually had to live there due to some complication or another. Mion has mentioned before that it's like a unique vacation house. I don't know how you can call a place with a torture room a vacation house, though. And assuming that we're talking about the same thing, it's very cave-like. Like, I don't know. I don't think it's probably. I don't think it's gonna be like a very beautifully decorated place where we can stay. But yeah, we can all be picky about that sort of stuff right now.
高野さんの調査がすぐわかるか、当分かかるか、やってみないとわからないけど。
Because I assume we're talking about the same place where Shion has hid the bodies of the people that she has killed and all that. So
何かわかったら、ミオンちゃんの家に連絡するということでいいかな。
それが助かりますです。
今だから白状するけど、山犬は保安上の理由からリカちゃんの家の電話を盗聴できるようにしている。その方が都合がいいね。
僕の恥ずかしい話はすべてみんなに聞かれていたのです。
いや、聞ける設備が設けてあるだけで、普段の会話をすべて聞いてるわけじゃないんだ。
of course it means that they surely have listened to every conversation.
年に数回ある保安訓練の際にそれをしているだけなんだよ。
多分診療所の私の電話も盗聴されてるんでしょうね。
ええ。そこは施設の性格上からご了承いただきたいところです。
失礼。その盗聴の具体的方法は？
リカちゃんの家に引いてある電話線が分岐してあります。それが神社の裏側の沢の近くに掘ったて小屋があるでしょ。そこへ引かれていて、そこで盗聴することができます。通常は無人ですが、山犬に対し要人警護命令が出ると、常時2名の通話監視員が常駐し、すべての会話を録音します。もちろん普段は録音していません。
近日中に保安訓練の予定は？また要人警護命令が出る予定は？
保安訓練は1月、4月、7月、10月に行っています。ですから今月はありません。
Yeah, I mean, as long as we don't ask them specifically to guard Rika, like the mountain dogs and all that, I think we're gonna be good. But they're probably gonna listen on the conversations nonetheless this month, even if it's not a security drill.
要人警護命令は何か緊急事態が起こると予想される場合に発令されますが、機関設立以来発令されたことは一度もありません。
発令の権限者は？
所長、つまり私ですが、高野さんは事実上の所長代行なので、私に代わって発令することが可能です。
もし高野氏が本当にリカちゃんを狙う黒幕なら、その要人警護命令を逆手に使い、彼女を監視する手段に使うでしょうね。
その可能性は十分に考えられます。
ということは、つまりその小屋に何者かが出入りするようになったら、それは高野氏が動き出したという証拠であり、リカちゃんの近辺に緊張が増した証拠であると読み取っていいわけですね。
高野さんが黒幕である証拠になるかは分かりませんが、リカさんの周辺に危険が迫っている可能性が高いと読み取ることはできるでしょう。
確かに高野氏が黒であろうと白であろうと、そういうことになりますね。その小屋が監視されている一方で、実際には他の場所に避難しているというのは、なるほど、うまい手かもしれない。
でもリカ、一つだけ問題が。夜に明かりもつかなかったら、家が無人なのはすぐにバレてしまいますです。高野たちは盗聴などしなくても、 夕方か夜頃にその様子を見るだけで学校を休んでいるのは仮病で、僕たちが気づいて逃げ出したのだと知ってしまうに違いないのです。
それもそうね。
So, what you're saying is maybe we should have like a double for Rika? Somebody to disguise themselves as Rika and pretend to be her while staying at her home?
そしてそれは、高野のことを調べている富武にとっては都合が悪い。確かに、どうにかしたい点ね。
さっき赤坂が言っていた盗聴をしている小屋の監視、それから大風で寝込んでいることを装うための明かりの付け消し、それからいざという時、赤坂が村の中にいてくれる方がいいというのを3つ合わせて、あうあうしますと、あうあうあう。一つの提案が浮かびますですよ。
まさかあんた、赤坂を私の家に泊まらせようってこと？ダメ絶対ダメ！全然片付いてないし、臭いし汚いしみっともないし、赤坂なんか絶対に入れられない。ダメ。
あうあうあう。赤坂がお泊まりなのですよ。あうあうあうあう。
Ooh. Spicy.
ダメだって言ってるでしょ。ダメやだ。ダメやだ。
リカちゃんは何をはしゃいでるんだい？
ちょっと取り乱してしまいましたのですよ。ニパー。
Jeez. Just because Anyu's insisting. Okay. Ow. Okay, this... Wait.
確かにリカちゃんの家がもぬけの殻になれば、夜の明かりとかですぐにバレてしまいますね。つけっぱなしにしても未明までつきっぱなしではすぐ怪しまれてしまう。
赤坂、僕がいない間、赤坂が僕のお家にお泊まりするというのは、どうでしょう。
なるほど。それはうまい手かもしれない。リカちゃんさえ良ければ、その手で行きましょ
う。Akasaka seems to think it's a pretty good idea. Am I selfish for wanting him to get a little embarrassed about staying at my house? I should be ashamed of myself. Ow. Everything is set. Tomitake is going to get in touch with his colleagues in Tokyo and start an investigation on Takano. As long as there's not gonna be like any misunderstanding of Akasaka and Rika being an item or anything like that, which I think we're gonna be good. That's all. That's all we can do from our end. He is going to lead his normal life. To act normally after something like this will be pretty difficult. But there really isn't anything else for him to do right now. Takano is sly. She'll never let Irie ruin her plans. Actually, Irie only comes into the picture after Takano is being exposed. Oishi didn't say he would help, but he said he wouldn't interfere with us. In fact, there are some people with ties to the mountain dogs at the police department too. It's probably best if Oishi acts normally, like Irie is. I'm going to tell Satoko the truth and hide at Mion's house for a while, starting today. I don't know how long I'll have to hide, but it'll be at least until something happens. Akasaka is going to stay at my house and make it look like I'm home, sick. If something happens, coming all the way from Okinomiya would take too long. It feels much better to have him stay in the village. True. Everything will begin only once Tomitake finds out something. Irie says he hopes things will get moving soon, but I don't think we need to worry about that. They will try to kill Tomitake on the night of Atanagashi, on Sunday, 2 days from today. That has never changed in many worlds, so that's definitely their plan. In other words, even if Tomitake doesn't find anything, the wheels will start turning in 2 days. I had wanted Tomitake again to be extremely careful. But still, if I still get killed, I'll curse your family for 7 generations after I die. Damn. Why not 8? It's already getting dark. Everyone went home except for Akasaka. I'm still thinking about how to tell Satoko about Akasaka, and also about what's to come.
悩んでもしょうがないのですよ。理科の悪い癖は仲間を過小評価しているところだと思いますです。
とはいうものの、今日学校でみんなで楽しく話していた漫画の話が実は本当でした。下手をすればあなたも殺されますなんて急に言って信じてくれると思う？それに聡子にとってこんな初対面の男まで急に連れてきて。
Imagine.
聡子が信じないと思いますか？
それはわかんないけど、その可能性もあるでしょ。
She probably will.
なんだ、聡子は友達じゃなかったのですね。
What Hanya just said startled me. It was kind of scary thing to hear, even though she said it while wearing her usual warm smile.
僕は聡子は仲間だと信じていますから、聡子に話せばきっと信じてくれて味方になってくれると信じています。でもリカは聡子を信じられないと言っています。それはリカにとって聡子が友達ではないということです。その程度の存在なら話しても時間の無駄なのです。はんわんわん。
Jesus.
聡子なんかほったらかして僕たちだけでミオンのところに行っちゃいましょうです。
バカ！そんなわけないでしょ。聡子は私の一番の親友で。
リカが真実を話す価値がないなら、それはその程度のものです。
Nah, I mean, I understand what Hanyu is doing right over here, basically pushing Rika into thinking about this sort of stuff. I mean, no matter what, we are gonna tell Satoko, but yeah, we gotta believe in Satoko when, like, we gotta believe in Satoko believing this sort of stuff. It's more so that, let's hope that it's not gonna be like too much of a problem trying to make her believe that something like this is happening in the first place. Like, hopefully it's gonna be just as easy as, like, us talking to the guys right over here and, like, our comic book plan.
リカの言う一番の親友なんて、野良猫に毎日餌をあげてるだけと同じ程度です。リカは聡子のことをそんな程度で住まわしていたとは、僕も驚きです。
誰もそんなこと言ってないでしょ。聡子は親友よ。私の一番のね。そうよ、あんたよりも。
でも信じてくれると信じてない。野良猫に餌をやって日々を一方的に愚痴るだけの関係。猫さんは何もできないって分かってるから、その上で愚痴ってるだけの、それだけの関係。はんはん、聡子はかわいそうに。リカの一番の親友だと信じているのに、そのリカにはそうだと思われていないのです。はんわんわん。
こんな。
I tried to step Hanyu, but I couldn't touch her. My hand went through her cheek and it hit only the air. I can't believe she made herself incorporeal. I can't believe she made herself incorporeal again. Hanyu disappeared, saying ow ow in a teasing manner. I'm upset, but I can totally understand what she was getting at. I mean, let's not forget that Rika still doesn't remember the events of the last fragment. The one where we worked so hard on saving Satoko and all the little miracles that happened before that. Like, Keiichi giving the doll to Mion and all the other stuff. Like, Rena basically talking to Mion about her past and, you know, resolving the conflict of Rena's family situation in a much more cleaner version. Rika doesn't remember that, so Rika doesn't have like the experience of trusting the friends, so we gotta... Right now, Rika is still in that phase of not believing 100% that miracles can happen. It's more so that Hanyu is the one who is like guiding Rika through this stuff right now. Again, it's like a reversal of chapter 7. Hanyu is the one with all the hope in the world that it is possible to do this, and Rika is the one who has to catch up yet again.
リカちゃんの同居人は納得してくれるかい？
納得させますです。
So, what are we gonna tell Satoko? I mean, obviously we're gonna be telling Satoko about the entire thing, which includes like Akasaka's role in this. Though I do have to wonder if at some point Satoko is gonna believe that he's secretly Rika's boyfriend or anything like that. Jesus.
サトコはこの陰謀に何の関係もないですが、僕と一緒に住んでいる以上、絶対に巻き込まれますです。サトコのためにも僕が説明しないと。
私は外で待ってた方がいいかな。
いいえ、赤坂が一緒にいてくれた方が冗談ではないと分かっていいかもしれないです。僕にうまく説明できないときには助け舟を出してください。
うん、分かったよ。
I went up to the second floor with Akasaka. To be honest, I couldn't even imagine how to start bringing it up. But even Hanyu made fun of me. I can't hesitate. I made up my mind and walked into the room, and was surprised. My messy room is all cleaned up. Satoko is packing her pajamas and towels into her duffel bag. It's as if she's going on a camping trip.
サトコ、ただいまなのです。はい、リカの分の荷物もできてますわよ。
How?
まさかミオンさんに歯ブラシやタオルまで借りるわけにはいかないでございましょう。それに見ず知らずの男性の方をこんな散らかったお部屋に入れるわけにもいきませんし、だから私普段からもう少しお片付けをしましょうって言ってたんではございませんの。
I blinked in surprise. I don't understand why Satoko already knows what's going on. She saw me, Rie, and Tomitake talking behind the shrine with Oishi and a strange man. She'd be sure to get curious. Satoko must have overheard our conversation. Not only that, she packed our luggage and cleaned your room, which means she already knows Akasaka is going to stay in this house. She must have come home in a hurry to get things done.
漫画なんかの話じゃなかったんですのね。
Okay. I guess so. It would seem that, okay, the reason why Satoko, like, is doing this is because her and the kids more than likely had the feeling that the manga storyline that they were talking this day, like today, it wasn't just fiction. They probably thought, oh fuck, Rika is, like, truly in danger. And Rika is hiding this as a comic, but in reality the kids were thinking that this is probably real. So they already made the preparations even before Rika decided to tell them the truth, like afterwards. They had the feeling that something like this would happen. Damn, man. Damn.
私、リカのそういうところは嫌いなんですのよ。私がリカの話を信じなかったことがありまして、私こそがリカに一番最初に頼ってもらえる親友でいるつもりでしたのに。 ごめんなさいなのです。
Satoko doesn't seem that angry. Rather, she's in shock that we talked about at school is real. She isn't really that upset. But this is exactly what Hanyu said. I thought Satoko was my best friend, yet I couldn't trust her completely. Having realized this, I apologized. I mean, we were gonna tell you like the truth like right now, to begin with. You were literally the first one that we're gonna tell. Okay, that story about the like the manga plot story that we talked about, that is true. I mean, in that sense, we probably should have just told like the kids like at school, like just fine, like this, like why did we have to go through like the manga plot disguise in the first place? We should have just told them like right then and there. Hanyu is the one who came up with the idea to begin with, which is kind of like the opposite of okay, it may be possible that like Hanyu coming up with this manga plot story first to hide it, like hide the truth in a disguising kind of way, followed by this, it kind of feels like the opposite way around. But I feel like Hanyu has come up with this manga disguise kind of thing first, just so that Rika would reach this kind of point to question like her friendship with her friends, so that Rika would value her friendship more. Because otherwise we could have just told the kids like right at the start, like in the classroom, like this morning. But no, we went through that first, and now we're reaching this kind of point so that we can strengthen our friendship through like what we're gonna be doing like right now. It's kind of complicated to explain this, but I feel like Hanyu is doing like a little bit of mind manipulation kind of thing right over here with this, just so that so that Rika would strengthen her friendship and believe in her friends more in similar fashion to before. Satoko turned around as if to tell me there is no time for apologies. I think she accepted it. As the proof of that, she's getting things ready to go to Mion's house. Thank you, Satoko.
赤坂さんでございましたっけ？リカとどういうご縁かは存じませんけど、リカの味方なら私の味方でもありますわね。北条聡子と申しますわ。
よろしく。赤坂と言います。リカちゃんを取り巻く陰謀はあまりに深く容易に説明できるものではありませんでした。それを打ち明け、拒絶されるかもしれないことに怯えていた彼女の気持ちをどうか汲み取ってあげてください。
そんなことは分かってましたよ。私はリカの一番の親友なんですのよ。その私に信じてもらえなかったら世界中で誰にも信じてもらえないということですのよ。なら臆病になるのも分かろうというものですわ。
聡子ちゃんは本当に大人です。そんなあなたに親友と呼んでもらえるリカちゃんが羨ましいです。
Satoko took Akasaka around the house and explained everything. She let him know that the switch for the hot water heater sticks a little and that if the picture on the TV gets messed up, he needs to tap on it. She even told him about all the trash she set around the shrine using a secret map of hers. Akasaka listened to her dead seriously. Upon seeing them talk, I couldn't help but smile. Hanyu also smiled while watching this, but he felt like she was saying, I told you so. I'm going to pretend that I don't notice her.
ひねくれ者の聡子がこれくらい簡単に信じてくれるんだから、単純なミオンならもっとあっさり信じてくれるわね。疑い知らずの圭一も信じるだろうし、こういう時はやたらと勘のいいレナも信じてくれるだろうし、どいつもこいつもきっと私の話を疑いもせずに信じてくれるのかしらね。
Hanyu didn't reply, but she smiled as if she's happy to see that I grew a little.
冷蔵庫の蓄えも十分ですわね。リカ、せっかくお留守をお願いするんですのよ。今夜くらいご馳走しないと失礼に当たりましてよ。それに万が一ということがありますもの。ミオンさんの家へはもう少し遅くなってからお伺いした方がいいですわね。
そんな、どうかお気遣いなく。
I mean, come on, Rika. You are her girlfriend. Shut up! Shut up, Noby! Why am I running with this kind of running joke? Jeez.
こう見えても食事くらいなんとかできますので。
リカの手料理をご馳走するチャンスなのですよ。
今日のあんたは調子に乗りすぎ。そうね、さとこ。美味しい食事をご馳走しないとね。そうそう、冷蔵庫に入ってる特用激辛キムチの大瓶を出してもらえる？それじゃない。懲罰用じゃなく死刑判決って書いてある方よ。今日はキムチチャーハンにしましょうです。
赤坂、辛いのは大丈夫ですか？
うん。辛いのも大好きだよ。
それと、冷蔵庫のシュークリームはもう賞味期限が切れてるから捨てちゃいましょうです。残念。ゴグラの高級店の美味しいやつだと聞いてたのに残念なのです。今日はあううるさいのが聞こえるわね。野良犬でも吠えてるのかしら？
Ow! Night is falling on the 16th of June. The pieces are lining up on the final game board one after another. No, pieces isn't the right word to call them. Night is falling on the 16th of June. We're gaining reliable allies for this final challenge. Our first key, Tomitake, will be killed in 3 days. Fate is going to change before that point. Alright, well, a pretty good first day. Now here comes the second day. Alright. I know that there's not going to be like any tips in this chapter, but might as well, just to be safe, might as well check like every day. Like every time the menu pops. Alright, let's go. Alright, well now what? Okay, well, I guess we're gonna be going to school today as well.
古出さんと北条さんは今朝風邪をひいたのでお休みと連絡がありました。今季節の変わり目で大変風邪をひきやすい時期です。暑いからといってお腹を出したりして寝ないように。いいですね。
はーい。二人とも一緒に住んでるから一緒に風邪ひいちゃったんだね。リカちゃん、あさっての綿流しだけど、ミコさんの役大丈夫なのかな？
かな。
祭りはみんなで遊ぼうって話なのに、明日にはケロッと治ってほしいもんだぜ。なあよ、帰りにみんなでお見舞いにでも寄らないか？何か冷たいものの差し入れでも持ってさ。
その必要はないよ。それより二人ともさ、今日の帰りおじさんの家に寄ってもらいたいんだけど、いいかな？
Alright. Mion usually enjoys ideas like bringing people food when they're sick. For whatever reason, she was a little curt today. Actually, she's been acting a little different since this morning. And you guys will realize why. Even when I talk to her, her thoughts seem somewhere else. Now she's asking right now me to stop by at her house. Okay, well, Now we're back to Keiichi's perspective right over here.
みーちゃんのうち何かあるの？
Which, it's kind of interesting, speaking of that. Like, usually when you are following somebody's perspective, you are basically following them in like a first-person perspective kind of thing. Like, you see the characters through their eyes. But not only is it like Keiichi's narration, but we also see his sprite. I did notice that with like the previous day as well, where it was Rika's perspective / narration, but we also have like Rika's sprite sometimes talking as if it's in third person, which is kind of interesting.
ちょっと大切な話があるんだよ。ここではできない。
Mion seemed calmer than usual, which told me that it was about something very serious. There are always lots of patients running into the clinic just before lunchtime. Because of that, lunchtime at the clinic is always later than normal people's. It's just a short break though. Our afternoon shift begins right away. Okay, I guess now we're following Iria's perspective. The staff were enjoying their break, eating their delivery lunches. They can eat basically anywhere they want, as long as the patients can't see them and it's not a place we need to keep it sterile. Because it's hot and humid, the meeting room with its air conditioner ends up being a popular place. The staff all ate their takeout lunches there. As I'm the director of this clinic, they might feel uncomfortable eating with me around. So I usually eat my lunch in the director's office, out of consideration for them. Today, I ordered lunch from a soba shop. I got an extra large. An extra large serving of morisoba, that is. Eat. Things are gonna get spicy, like this week, like these following days, so eat as much as you can. Because you're gonna need like all the food that you need. For whatever reason, they just call the dish an extra large. That makes ordering it complicated, since if I order an extra large and a kitsune udon, they'll just deliver an extra large kitsune udon instead. But is this really a large? It looks more like a regular size to me. As I recall, the owner of the restaurant has hurt her hip, so she must be having a hard time keeping things running. I was still thinking about that when Takano-san came in. Oh. She was carrying a really large size order in her hands. Apparently she ordered a regular morisoba, and I grabbed the wrong one by mistake. Oh. What a hassle.
本当にわかりづらいですわよね。何か目印になるものでもつけてくれればいいのに。
同感です。例えば、大盛りって書いたお子様ランチの旗みたいなのが立ててあるとかね。
Takano-san must have liked that idea. She laughed for a while.
よかったらご一緒にどうです？
I invited her to sit on a sofa.
ではせっかくですので。すみません。冷房をちょっぴりだけ弱めてもらってもよろしいですかしら？
ええ、それは失礼しました。よいしょ。ピッピッと。
Come to think of it, I haven't really talked too much with her. We were rather distant from each other, partly over the guilt of the organization becoming the EDA Institute. So, with that and our respective positions, we had a taciturn agreement not to pry too deeply into each other. Since our attitudes towards our research are different, we never really mingled before. Yeah, it is as I said before. Like, I don't really see, like, Takano and Irie being, like, best friends or anything like that. Like, that close to one another in terms of friendship, in similar fashion to how Tomitake and Takano may be. But, you know, you're thinking about this, of them basically eating, like, food right now, like, together, and just, like, regular people. It kind of brings me back to what I was thinking about before, about how Takano views Tomitake and all that. Like, I was thinking, like, in the back of my mind, it's not as if I believe that right now, but in the back of my mind, I was thinking, like, she's getting all buddy-buddy with Tomitake in order to, like, gain some advantage, in order to, like, gain points in her research and all that, so she would be, like, friends with Tomitake, which would include, like, having this, a flirtatious side to her in order to, you know, have Tomitake under her finger, but, like, a part of me can't really think of it that way, at least not anymore, because, I don't know, it's kind of hard to think that, oh, she would go with Tomitake on these trips to photograph birds, like, in the wild nature and all that, just to gain, like, points, to have advantage on Tomitake, like, in the future for her plans. It's just mostly that she wants to spend time with Tomitake and, you know, have some fun with a regular human being, like have some fun human activities. It's not as if like Takano's life is 24/7, 7/27/4/7 just the research. There are some moments where she's being human, and especially right now, the moment that we're having right over here with Irie looks at Takano like just eating like a regular human being, and it's like, how can I think of such a person being responsible for killing Rika in the future and destroying the village? How can you think of something like that? And even from my own perspective, how can you think that such a human right over here, like eating food like a regular human being, is like this evil mastermind that is going to destroy the village? It's kind of hard to think about it like that, doesn't it? So chatting over lunch is a good way to get closer to her. I wonder what she likes to talk about while eating. I guess I should start a peaceful conversation. I don't want her to go off about something like tapeworms. We were having a lunch after all. And while I tried to come up with a topic, she started talking instead.
さっきのお子様ランチの旗の話、懐かしいですわね。
Oh my god. Yeah. Yeah, like, wasn't it like the day her parents died that she was talking about kids' meals? Well, maybe not during that day, but she used to collect like flags from kids' meals before her parents died. Jesus.
今時のお子様ランチにはまだ旗は立っているんでしょうか。
Yeah.
さあどうでしょうね。
In that sense, wow. How unlucky that Irie basically just wants to have a conversation with Takano, and literally the first topic that we talk about, it's this thing that comes from her very traumatic past. Jesus.
ああいうのは一つの様式ですからね。
But I think that, as uncomfortable as that may be, I guess it is a good thing. Irie may be able to tap into Takano's childhood and trying to understand that if this is happening, if Takano is the one who is doing all this, then Irie may be able to understand eventually why. And I guess the first step would be Takano's childhood. So Irie is going to be able to learn about Takano's childhood and realize eventually, oh shit, Takano truly is doing this. Rika was right.
案外もっと未来になって宇宙旅行が実現するような時代になっても、宇宙船の機内食のお子様ランチには旗が立っているような気がします。
それはなんだか面白い話ですわね。そんな未来になっても子供たちはあの旗を夢中になって集めるのかしら。
旗を？おやおや、そんなことをされていたんですか。
あら、所長は子供の頃にしませんでした？ お子様ランチの旗集め。
まさかまさか。私たちが子供の頃のお子様ランチといったら、裕福な家庭でなければなかなかありつけませんでしたよ。私の家ではとてもとても。
そんなことありませんわよ。うちは貧乏でしたけど、たまにデパートに家族で行くと必ずデパートの最上階のレストランに入りましたもの。当時の私にとってはデパートに連れて行ってもらえるのはお子様ランチが食べられるというのと同じ意味で。だから両親が私の留守の間にデパートへ行ってしまうと、とてもへそを曲げたのを思い出しますわ。
高野さんの子供時代もとても素敵そうですね。
うーん。
でも私一人を残してデパートへ出かけて、二人ともバスの事故に巻き込まれて死んでしまいましたわ。
Oh, shoot.
その連絡が来るまで私はずっと両親を恨んでて、今頃デパートのレストランで私をのけ者にして美味しいものを食べてるに違いないって憤慨してて。あと1本で旗が確か20本になるはずで、20本が小さな目標だったので、それを達成する機会がまた遠のいたとずっとむくれていて、ひどい話ですわね。
It must have been horrible to lose her parents at the age when she was still interested in collecting flags from kids' meals. It's obviously still a painful memory for her.
そうですか。それは知りませんでした。ひょっとしてそれが医師を目指された動機ですか？
は？どうして？
ああ、いえ。私が医師を目指したのは自分の家族に関わることが理由だったので、てっきり高野さんもそうだったのかと。
私が医師免許を取ったのはHinamizawa症候群により近づくために必要だったからですわ。失礼な言い方をすれば、研究のためついでに取った免許ですわね。
How interesting. Even when she was still at medical school, she already knew about Hinamizawa syndrome.
そういえば、こんな処方の処方のことも私は知りませんでしたが。
That is true. I mean, let's think of it this way. Hinamizawa syndrome is something that both of them know at the core of their heart, but it's not as if this is well known, obviously. And Hinamizawa is a very, well, I'm not gonna say that it's a small village or anything like that, but it is a village in Japan. There is no way for you to know about Hinamizawa syndrome before arriving in Hinamizawa syndrome, unless you already know about it from somewhere else. Like, under normal circumstances, okay, you become a doctor, you become a nurse, so you're placed somewhere to do your doctor activities. And once you do that, like, you are placed in Hinamizawa, and then you would learn, oh shit, okay, so now my job is to study this Hinamizawa syndrome. So, in Irie's eyes, the fact that she knew about Hinamizawa syndrome before arriving, like, in Hinamizawa, it kind of makes you think, how does she know about Hinamizawa syndrome? So, now the most logical next step would be for Irie to know, hey, how come you knew about the Hinamizawa syndrome before you even came here? I didn't know. So,
高野さんはどこでHinamizawa症候群に触れられたのですか？高野先生の研究を掘り出すうちに発見されたというような話を聞いていますが。
well, okay, there's that.
医大に通われていた頃に医師の勉強と並行してもう症候群の研究に入られていたとは驚きです。
So, the next step for Irie would be to question, so like this actually made you quite interested in researching it. How come?
私など盆栽でしたので、医師の勉強だけで精一杯でしたから尊敬しますよ。
ひなみざわ症候群の研究に携わったのはもっともっと前からですわね。